Dude, I cannot wait to get out of 2024 because that means I'll finally be in 2025. And guess what's in 2025, Carl?
I believe a little thing called Hackamania. Back to the hack.
That's right, May 9th through 11th in sunny, fabulous Las Vegas. We're going to be hanging out in downtown, and you're welcome to join us and all of your podcast pals. Who's going to be there, Carl?
Well, we got the biggest problem in the universe. We got This Little Piggy. Nobody likes onions. Who are these podcasts? And last year, Trucker Andy didn't make the trip. Producer Chris didn't make the trip. This year, everyone's coming, the whole crew. So it's going to be a blast. And I'll tell you one more thing. If you're wondering whether I should buy tickets or not, Ray DeVito will not be there.
Hey, there it is. Cardiff's coming.
Cardiff will be there. OJ will be there.
What a time.
Tukey. How can I forget Weird Medicine? Dr. Steve, how can I forget?
Yep. And don't forget subreddit surfing.
What?
Okay, I made that part up. Okay. Carl.
Yes.
If people want to save 10%, what do?
They put in the promo code CREEP, CREEP, when they go to hackamania.com.
That's right. So I hope to see you there. And let's have a creep off. What do you say, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hola, creepos. Welcome to another episode of your favorite true crime podcast, the show about creeps by creeps for you creeps, the only true crime competition on the internet. You found it. I'm your host. My name is Vinnie. Big shout out to all the true believers.
Excelsior, true believers.
And joining me in studio, as always, my co-host, Hot Carl.
What is happening, Vinnie Paulino? What's happening to all the Cuzzaroos out there? Welcome to the last episode of 2024.
That's right. Suck my dick 24. Moving on to 25, baby.
24 was a good year.
It was a great year,
yeah,
actually.
Okay.
But, it probably wasn't great for everybody. So they're just like, I'm trying to.
Sure. Yeah. A new year is optimism. It means anything can happen.
Yeah. Because honestly, if I go into this realizing how great 2024 was and expecting great things for 2025, I might end up being crushed by the reality of what a terrible year 2025 could be.
Yeah, you might want to not think too much about your life. You might want to just keep smoking that weed and ignoring everything and all the signs around you. It's probably the best way to live.
Which signs?
I'm just saying, it's probably the best way to live is just find a nice hole in the sand and stick your head right in it and leave it there. It's probably the best thing for you, my friend.
You're right now where you are is that hole of sand.
Perfect.
You're sitting right at it, baby.
And yes, I do work for BetterHelp.com in my free time. And this is what I tell people.
Yeah, I have to pay him $100 for that advice.
You're right. But it works. Keeps them happy.
Now, folks, as you know, the show is a competition. And every week, Carl and I compete to bring you the biggest creep in any given category. Carl, tell everybody how it works.
Yeah, so Vinny and I present at the top of the show who we thought was the biggest creep in whatever category we chose. Of course, today's category is the biggest creep of the year 2024. So any person who did anything creepy in 2024, we can bring, and then we present our case. You find folks, go over to thecreepoff.com and vote for who you thought brought the bigger creep. When somebody gets to 5 wins, the other person is the loser of that round, and they have to spin the dreaded wheel of consequences. The score right now is Vinny 2, Carl 1. And of course, to find out what the score should be, we bring in our results girl, Danny.
Danny, reading results so dandy. Please won't you post that fanny all over the Patreon. Danny, that body's so uncanny. Voice smooth like lemon shandy. Oh yeah, she's my creep girl.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Danny? Did you dye your hair black?
I did.
You going for a little goth thing right now?
Just something different with my hair. It was getting too much.
I like the contrast.
I think you look great.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
I think you look wonderful. Now, Danny, it is going to be New Year's coming up, but last week was Creepmas, the biggest show of the year, the biggest holiday show of the year.
Correct.
Who brought the biggest Creepmas creep? We need to know. Who gets the point?
Yeah, can you remind us who each of us brought?
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Put her on the spot on this one.
Why are you fucking with her? Why are you fucking with her?
I don't remember who everybody brought exactly. I'm sorry. I do have the results, though.
All right. We'll take those.
I'm sorry. Jeez.
That's all right. I brought William Spangler Jr.,
Yeah.
a guy who started a fire that destroyed his entire neighborhood and then shot at first responders and took a few out. And Vinnie brought some guy who's actually not that bad a dude.
Ernest Hulaver Jr., Carl. Ernest Hulaver Jr. All right. Danny, who won?
Okay. 65% of the vote. Carl is the winner this week.
Oh.
He's the creep comeback king. Cleverest foot I've ever seen. Watch him rock a cow G-string. Makes my eyes sting. Carl's the comeback king.
That's right. I was down 2-0, and now the score is 2-2.
You son of a bitch.
Let's update it there,
Danny,
Vinnie Paulino.
thank you very much for bringing such bad news for me. Do you have a resolution for 2025?
Probably stop smoking everything. I stopped cigarettes when I was pregnant, but I've been vaping, so it's, that's hard to quit after you use that to quit smoking cigarettes.
Sure.
That's a big thing for sure. I just want to get healthier. That would be good.
Yeah, get the nicotine out of your life. You don't need it.
Nobody needs it.
Yeah.
Everybody listening, if you want to quit, show some solidarity. Follow Danny on Instagram and let her know that you're quitting smoking too, and you can all quit together. Won't that be nice?
You know what my New Year's resolution is?
Nope.
I'm going to start being meaner to people. I've been too nice. 2024 I was way too nice to everyone. I'm ending that
Yeah.
in 2025.
My resolution this year is simple. It's the same one I have right now. It's to never see Wicked.
Yes, I think we'll be able to pull that one off.
That one's mine. So
Good.
all right, Danny. Merry New Year to you. We'll see you back next week. And don't throw that baby.
I won't. Bye.
Bye. Motherfucker. You know what? Alex told me, our producer Alex sent me a message. Hey, did you know you've never won a Creepmas episode, Vinny?
Oh, is that true?
Apparently.
Nice.
No, that's not nice.
Well, it is nice because we celebrate a lot of holidays on this show. Not just Creepmas, which is the biggest one, but also Super Chat Monday. And the way that you celebrate that with us is by super chatting or becoming a YouTube member, as Brent has. Thank you very much, Brent.
That's right. And our boy CMOS 4044 is kicking it off with €5. Happy Creepmas and New Year, Carl and Vinny. Rob Saul gets my vote for Creep of the Year.
Oh, there were a bunch. There were a bunch that we had to choose from. And so Vinny and I have both brought who we think is the biggest creep of 2024. I have a feeling people are going to agree with us.
Well, before we jump into that, Joseph Collins hopped on with another $9.99. I was listening to Slowly Rot by Obituary. However, before the show, everyone watched the Isotope Zombie Accomplishments.
That's right. That is the song that is our intro song,
Yeah.
Zombie Accomplishments.
You could find that wherever you listen to Half Music.
Yeah, wherever you stream your music, you can find the Isotopes and they get some streams in, and that gets 0.0002 pennies in my pocket, and I appreciate that.
Thinny mixing a salad, cunt hair away from diabetes. He's talking to me.
I think he might be talking to you, buddy.
All I eat is fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Listen, in 2024, Carl, right now, as is, I'm down 57 pounds from where I was a year ago.
That's
so,
incredible.
Kells. But there's your salad, bitch.
But just because you put iceberg on pizza doesn't make it salad, asshole. Sorry.
Well, it's called a pizza salad.
I know. I'm familiar with what you do.
Pepperoni.
And that's how you start your meal.
Well, it's the appetizer.
Right.
Pizza salad. And then you have the regular pizza.
And then the pizza, right.
Yeah, and then you have the then you have the pizza pie for dessert. The pizza pie. All right, Carl. Fuck all of that. Let's get into this. Who do you think is the biggest creep of the year? I want to hear this from you. I got to know who you think it is.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I had friends over yesterday watching football, and I did talk it over with them to get their thoughts on it, and we came to a consensus. And sure, there was a lot of names of politicians and murderers and serial killers and child rapists, a lot of names being thrown around. But this one stood out because this one is, I would say, the worst thing you can do as a human being in the internet age in 2024. This person is a grifter.
Oh, the worst.
Oh, if you want to play my video number one, this is a TikTok video. They'll let you know what this person is grifting.
Well, $20 just made me cry. And it's Not the money itself, it's paper. It was the person.
Watch
who
this
handed it
asshole
to me.
tear up during this video too.
I'm building this art studio to support kids in vulnerable communities, and I really believe in my mission. I know in my heart of hearts that this space is going to be amazing for a lot of people. I know that it's going to offer a lot of people so much comfort. And I've asked a lot from a lot of people, or at least what I think is a lot from a lot of people. I've done a lot of fundraising, and people have showed up. And now I'm staring down the barrel of potentially a $5,000 boiler bill because the year is just not recoverable.
You need
it's
more money.
Completely gone.
Oh, okay.
The boiler guy's coming on Tuesday to do a full quote, but that's what it looks like it's going to be. And I have been talking to people about it a little bit here and there.
Oh, just a little bit here and there?
It is weighing on me. And someone just showed up today and handed me $20. And when she showed up and I talked with her, I said, I feel really bad that I have to keep asking so much or asking for so much. Like, I'm capable of doing this. I am capable of making this happen with or without support. And she said, no, you don't understand. What you're doing isn't a selfish act. It's a selfless act.
Is that what she said?
You're asking for help because you can't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders yourself.
Fuck off.
She said $20 is small. And $20 from a bunch of people adds up quick.
It sure does.
And before you know it, you have that new heater and that space will be safe. She said, things like what you're doing change the world.
No, they don't.
And it isn't that often that normal, everyday people. Like
Jesus Christ, he's still going?
Yeah,
to
this
help to change
is all the stuff
world.
she said to him. And he remembered it
$20 bill.
verbatim.
So for everyone who's helped and supported and stood up and donated, I'm so grateful.
He's grateful, but
speechless,
but
very thankful.
You need more money though, too, right? Okay.
Hold on a second. I didn't know we were allowed to do this. This is now I want to point out, everybody, it's very cold in here. It's very, very cold in this studio right now.
Yes.
And $20 from everybody adds up really quickly. So, you know, Mike with the super chat.
We got the guy coming
Help
over.
us.
I think it's going to be $5,000.
Oh, no. Where will we ever get that kind of money?
Cost. Now, this is Daniel Alexander. Now, Daniel Alexander has a TikTok. And on his TikTok, he goes on there and he talks about his trans kid and his other kid who's gay.
Timothy Dransky.
And he talks about how these poor children are in marginalized communities and they're not safe. And so he has to build an art studio to save these kids' lives. He literally says this. Now, he has a GoFundMe. And if you want to take a look at my first link that I sent you there, we can bring that up. This was February 27th, 2023. He wanted $10,000. And this is what he wrote on his GoFundMe page. He wrote,
so you want me to pull up the GoFundMe, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
got
link
it.
there. Yep. Okay. So yeah, renovations for an art studio for kids. He's raised $4,805. He says, from a very young age, I had the dream of being an artist. I loved the act of creating, and I felt deep within me the healing power of art. Growing up in a family where I was the youngest of 8 kids, art supplies weren't something we could regularly afford. So many times I turned to the resources of our public schools to fuel my passion for creating. I learned then that those art rooms were sacred spaces where people from all walks of life could come to feel safe and create. In my later teens, I dreamed of being an art teacher and sharing my love for art with the world. Everyone should and could have access to those sacred, safe spaces again.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and say this, motherfucker. If your dream was to teach art, why didn't you go to college to fucking teach art instead of fucking having a coffee shop on the back of a pickup truck, asshole?
Yeah, this is not what's known as like a dream. This is something that people just go, oh, you know what? I'm going to go into that profession. That's what I'm going to do for a living.
Yeah.
You don't have to dream big. Now, Vinny, what's crazy about this is that he tries to pretend that this is something he's doing for kids, but you can see right there from what he wrote, this is all about him. This is all about he felt safe when he was a kid being in this art studio. He wants an art studio for himself. He raised $4,800 with this GoFundMe and then just stopped doing it. You'll see the donations there are mostly from 2 years ago. There's one from 5 months ago. But other than that, 2 years ago.
Yep.
So what did he do, Vinny? I'll tell you what he did. He started another GoFundMe for the exact same thing. If you look at my second link that I sent to you.
What?
Look at this asshole. Community Art Studio fundraiser. And this one, he's raised $6,300.
So he made the $10,000 goal then.
He is up to $11,115. He needed $10,000. He's shot past that, and he's still asking for money.
He could get the space heater and still be 6,000 in the green, in the black.
He built this one in
money.
December 28th, 2023. So just about a year ago, he put this one together. But Vinny, wait, there's more. There's another GoFundMe he created just a couple weeks before that one. Pull up the third link I sent you. The Pay It Forward Fund. Vinny, can you do me a favor and read the description of this GoFundMe that he wrote?
A beloved chat. Okay, sorry. This is a Pay It Forward fund. All the proceeds will go to offering kindness within my community. And there's a picture of his coffee truck.
Dude, what kind of grift is that? A Pay It Forward fund. Give me money and then I'll give that money to someone else.
Wink.
Well, how about I just give that money to the person I want to give it to? Can I do that? No. Give it to me. I'll do it for my community. Why would anyone do this?
So listen, I don't know what he's doing, but when I see this, the first thing that comes to my mind is he has a picture of his truck that he sells coffee at wherever it is. Was it Ithaca?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to dox him. He talks about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that truck is his business. And he has a picture of his business and he's like, pay it forward. So is he just like taking this money, then handing out coffee every now and again when somebody comes up?
Let's look into that, Vinny. I'm glad you asked that question. What is going on with all this money that he's raising that's supposedly for this art studio, for the community, for marginalized communities and children? Well, first, before we get into that, my clip number 2,
Okay.
we won't watch this whole thing, but in September of this year, running out of money again.
Oh, God, no.
I
I
know.
wasn't able to do a whole heck of a lot for renovations this week. Now, this is an art studio that's going to support kids, and it's going to have a real focus on kids in traditionally marginalized communities or vulnerable communities. But honestly, it's just going to have accessibility tools for people who have different accessibility needs, and it's just going to be a real safe space, not just for those kids, but for any kids. And as I sit here painting, just sort of realizing I wasn't able to do many renovations this week.
As I sit here painting, I realized I wasn't able to do a lot of renovations this week. Now, you'll notice the painting on the wall behind him is something that he did.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding onto a painting. He's constantly showing off the stuff that he's doing in this art studio of his.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, he was having other guys over there to paint on his back.
Yes, that is true. They made Hawaii. They did a rendition of Hawaii on his back. It's very impressive.
The islands.
So he's out of money again. He says, guys, I don't want you to think I'm putting this on the back burner, but money's tight right now, so I can't really get to a lot of renovations. This was in September.
Well, can I ask a question just about this in general?
Please.
My business background. I worked in the non-for-profit field for quite a while.
Yeah.
Does this guy have a 501c3 for any of this shit?
That's a great question because people have looked it up. Now, I don't pry into people's lives like this, but other people have, and they can't find squat.
Okay.
No one's been able to find anything that he's registered with the state.
I've never done a GoFundMe like this, so I don't know. Do they give the money to the IRS? Like, did they give a report?
That's a good question too.
Over
They
a
have
certain
to,
amount.
right? They would have to. They
I
got
would
to keep
assume
track
so.
of it.
So
Yeah.
if that's the case, if he doesn't have a 501c3 and people are giving him money, Uncle Sam's owed a cut of that money as opposed to
it's
just
part
doing
of
this
his
the
income.
right way.
Yeah, it's just part of his income then. That's a great question. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's the first thing I question. Anytime people are raising money for some type of non-for-profit, unless you know it's for a specific person and it's like a cousin and they're trying to help out and shit like that, find out if there's a 501c3 involved. It's a good thing to know.
Right. They do have to register that and make that publicly known.
Correct.
Okay. My clip number 3 now, he slipped up just last week and finally admitted what is really going on here. Now, he purchased this house that was like an abandoned house and started renovating it and building this art studio for these kids. But then watch what he says here.
Am I hitting play on this video still?
Number 3.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, my workbench is full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mugs that I made.
Okay.
There's more mugs in here.
Yeah.
There's more stuff in here.
You've been busy.
Having to go in the kiln. I have a kiln. I have a vinyl piece that I just did right here that's for a gift for someone for Christmas. I'm creating. 42 years old, and I finally have a space.
Pause
art
it.
studio. I dreamed.
I'm
my
sorry.
entire
I
life.
hate him.
Can you believe the balls on this guy to come on here and be like, guys, look at all this stuff I'm building. Look at all this stuff I'm doing. He's making all these mugs.
Well, they're for the
and
kids
stuff.
when the kids eventually come so they can have hot cocoa.
No, that's not the case at all. In fact, we're going to find out in my fourth video on here that these mugs are actually for sale, Vinny. He got donated a kiln from someone, and now he's creating these mugs that he's then selling.
And where are the proceeds for that going?
Well, let's find out.
Glaze kiln, and I can't wait to share the results with you. But if you stick around, you're also going to find out how you can help and support kids in vulnerable communities. Now, that's what this whole space is intended for. It's a space that's going to support kids in vulnerable communities.
What's it being used
and
for,
just give them
though?
a real safe place to be able to create and learn and grow. All of the proceeds from any of my stuff, it's all going back into renovations of this space. Clearly, I still have renovations to do. Well, my big kiln isn't working any longer, and it needs to be repaired again. And every single time something happens to it, I just repair it and I move on. But it's about time for me to start looking at a new kiln. I've been eyeballing a brand new Scum kiln that I'm super excited about. It means that I have to sell a whole bunch of items to be able to get to the point where I can afford that Scum kiln.
Oh,
but
pause
remember,
it, Vinny.
this space is going to support.
So let's think of this scenario. I enjoy playing Paul Reed Smith electric guitars. I'd love to have a whole collection of them that I could perform live. If people could donate to my GoFundMe, I'm going to go buy very expensive guitars with that, and then I'll perform live and I'll make money at those shows. But don't worry, the money I make at those shows will go into buying more PRS guitars because I really enjoy having those PRS guitars.
Well, I guess it's fine because you are an at-risk child.
I am a marginalized community.
Yeah.
Myself
so
over here.
Yeah.
Is this this is bullshit, right?
We buy PR guitars for disabled adults.
He's asking for money. He's a charity asking for money. And then when he got the money, he started making stuff that he's then selling. He's going, no, it's fine though. I'm putting it back into this thing. Yeah, your thing, right? That's the problem here. I have one more clip because
sack of shit.
Because what's happening now is that people are like, what the fuck, Dan? You've been talking about this thing for years. You finally have it kind of working a little bit, and you're in there doing all this shit. So my
don't you think a kid would have liked to have made the mug with that clay that we all paid for?
So my last clip on here, number 5, he's trying to do a little damage control here, and I'm not buying it.
On the other side of this wall over here are 2 kids that belong to vulnerable communities. Now, when I told you I was building this art studio to support kids in vulnerable communities, they were who I was talking about.
One thing I know about kids from vulnerable communities, they're loud.
And their friends, people within their community, people who really deserve safe spaces. And I've taken some criticism over the last year about not sharing or showing the kids that use this space or the kids that get to use this space. Now, there is an understanding I'm still renovating, so there's not a lot of access to this space yet. I still
only you can get into it. Right. Yeah.
So it can be really open to the public, but a few kids have used the space. And the answer is you will never see them. I have an
They're a figment of my imagination.
To give them
you will not see them, but I picture them having a lot of fun
if I offered it up
in
to
this
the
place.
And any random person on the internet could judge these kids in any way that they deemed fit.
Okay, hold on.
You like that, Vinny?
No, I don't. Because let me tell you about a thing that I did back in the day, Carl. I went out and I raised, I think it was about $15,000 to $20,000 to build a tech center for kids inside of a government subsidized apartment complex in space provided by the complex through a 501c3 non-for-profit organization.
Yep.
And when I did that, I had to show everybody how it all worked, and I had to show that we were using it. I had to give schedules of times that it was open. I had to go down and mark every T and cross every T and dot every I to make sure that people know how it was being used once it was built, and that I didn't build a $20,000 fucking party room.
And you might have even maybe taken some photos of people using the room, the people who benefited from it.
Yeah, see what happens is when you're a 501c3, you have to release what's called an annual report.
Yes.
And you also have to show it to a board of directors of independent people not involved with the agency who oversee it to make sure that the funds are being dispersed properly. That's the law in New York State, Daniel.
Now, is he doing anything illegal? Probably not. Anyone could create a GoFundMe for any reason.
No.
And if people are dumb enough to give money to them, they can take your money.
But I'll tell you this, Daniel, I would be sitting here casting aspersions at you and being very suspicious, sir, if you had followed the proper steps that could show us the actual documentation that you are following all these rules that are ensured to make sure you're not defrauding everybody.
Yeah, it seems to me like all this money that you raised, over $11,000, and who knows how much you got from money from other places aside from the 2 GoFundMes that you created. Seems to me like all that money is going towards things that you want.
People are
that
walking
you wanted
up,
to do.
Fucking handing him $20 on the street. How do I know you didn't just fucking go to the lunch counter, dude? How do I know you didn't just roll through the drive-thru with that 20?
Guys, I really need everyone to contribute to my Carl wants to go to a lot of Bills games next year fund. It's really important that you give as much as you can, as often as you can, because I like traveling to road games. You know, we got the new stadium coming soon. It's very expensive to go to these games now with the reigning MVP. It's going to be tough.
He's not the reigning MVP.
It's going to be.
Fucking go Lamar.
I knew I'd piss you off with that. Anyway, that's my creep. Daniel Alexander, _shoe_fits on TikTok. You can find him there, and you might know him as Woke Dad when we cover him on Who Are These Socials. Did you find someone creepier than Woke Dad, Vinny? I'd be hard pressed to believe it.
Carl, we talked about this guy on a bonus episode.
Okay.
But there's only one person. There's legitimately only one person who could wear the crown creep of the year 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my nomination.
Oh boy. All right. Tom, this is going to be a tough one. That looks a lot like our old buddy Iso Doe.
That is Isolino Prusetti Jr., Carl.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk a little bit about this motherfucker.
Iso Doe.
Yeah. The man who did a lot of work in the Dabbleverse, did a lot of things to help some shows get established, and he is nothing but a stain on all of us and him.
Yes.
I fucking hate this kid.
He's a problem.
Let's talk about him. We're going to have to start back in March with Officer Christopher Toscano from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Child Exploitation Task Force here in Rochester. You see, he had a meeting with Iso's wife.
Okay.
And boy, did she have a story to tell him, Carl. And I read all the reports on this a while back, and I've been refreshing myself with it. And I have some new details I'd like to share today.
Yeah, because I learned a lot when you presented this last time. It's horrific.
Here we go. This stretched back all the way to September of 2016 when she goes into his office and she sits down at his desk and he has a weed grinder on the table. I don't know if she's going, what is he doing, smoking weed, or she wanted some weed. But either way, when she opened up, she got the wrong kind of sticky icky. It was a thumb drive filled with fucking heinous CP. This is from the indictment. Several images depicted naked children, both boys and girls. The naked children range from toddler age to about 10 years old. The children's genitals were exposed in the images. His wife says that one image burned into her brain now depicted a little girl about 2 or 3 years old with a male's penis shoved in her mouth. So what's a wife to do at that point? She confronts him and has a conversation with him regarding the images on the thumb drive. And boy,
am I too old for you, Iso? Is that why we're not making love as much anymore? Is that the problem?
How this guy had kids.
Brutal.
He admitted that the thumb drive was his and that he was, quote, sick. He then blamed his viewing of viewing CP on doctors who abused him in the past. That's right. He's like fucking Ash. He's like fucking the fierce fatty. It's the doctor's fault. They touched my dick when I was 5 and now I fucking can't help it. According to her, he ultimately broke down crying, destroyed the thumb drive, and flushed it down the toilet.
Okay.
Which is not how you get rid of it.
What's it going to start?
It's how you ruin your plumbing.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Fucking moron. So the biggest mistake here is at this point, his wife did not contact the police. Years go by, Carl.
Yeah.
She's thinking everything's fine. She caught him that one time. Of course, everything changed. How could he possibly be continuing to do this after he was caught? Well, one day, she's everything looks fine. They're in their new house, and his wife finds a laptop she's never seen before. And she booted it right up. And wow, look at that. More really fucked up CP.
Wait, what?
Now, at that point, he does the same. It's not my fault. It's the society.
Actually, I have audio of what he said to his wife when he got caught the second time.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
Pretty much. He then goes, I'm going to do better. I'm sick. It's not my fault. So he claims he threw the laptop into a neighbor's dumpster.
Thanks a lot, asshole.
I know.
Worst neighbor ever. Fuck.
Jesus Christ. If you ever see a discarded laptop, I'm telling you, it's not a free laptop for you just to take and play with.
Good
Don't
point.
ever fucking touch it. So, by the way, this is August of 2022. He's working on the Shuli network.
Correct.
Nobody has any idea this shit is going on. This guy is keeping this shit tight under wraps with his fucking wife. And it gets really fucked up here. This is the stuff that sickens me. The way he treated this woman who the first time she would have got this asshole help. She would have taken him to go do something because she did care and she didn't fucking turn him in. But this is what fucking makes me crazy. He lies, says it's not his, it's whatever. He throws it out. I'm sorry. He doesn't know what to do. So she told a family member, one of his family members, about the situation. And that's when he confronted her and said, you better fix this. And here's what you're going to do. You are going to go to my family and you are going to tell them that you're a liar and that this was all made up. And you did it because you were mad at me. And I don't care what happens. You better do that. And if you don't do it, guess what I'm going to tell him? I'm going to tell him it was ours. It was yours and mine.
Yeah.
We're a couple of sickos together. How do you like that?
This is the part that the enemies of Shuli who want to use ESO as like proof that Shuli's a piece of shit, they don't even realize how horrible this actually is. How this guy reacted to this and how he tried to destroy his wife because she caught him with this shit is some of the most heinous part of this.
Karl,
he's ready to take down everyone with him.
I'm so proud of his wife because this is the point where, she stood by her man at a time when she shouldn't have.
Yep.
That's love. But she realized this guy's a fucking psychopath who's going to fucking
garbage.
Ruin me.
He's garbage.
We have children. What if we both end up in prison? What if our whole family, our kids end up being wards of the fucking state and some guy like you ends up with custody of them? So,
well, bad news for the first many years of their lives. A guy like him did have custody of them.
Wow. At least the mom was in the picture. She smartened up and starts recording the conversations. Smart.
Yes, good move.
So a few weeks later, still in August of 2022, Karl, she's still suspicious of this guy. He says he threw the laptop out in the dumpster, whatever. So he claims, she goes to the house, he claims it's gone, and she finds the computer. She finds hard drives.
No, boy, it's always hard drives.
And another computer.
There's always hard drives.
And they're like we said, dude, they're like dragons. They got to sit on their fucking gold. They can't help it. So he claimed, I've never seen those before. They must be the kids' collection of child porn CP. I don't know what the fuck he said.
Is your brother bringing his hard drives over into our house? This is crazy.
So finally, she goes, isn't this the laptop you just fucking told me you threw out?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, well, yeah, but I was scared to throw it out because there still might be something on it. And she goes, what? More CP? And he goes, yeah. How do I know this? Because it was recorded. Okay, guys, I don't have the recording, but this is all in the indictment. Pizzuti Isolino offered to sign the house over to her at that point and give her as much money as he could for her to, quote, keep her fucking mouth shut.
What a negotiator.
Yeah. She says, is this a bribe about the CP? And he goes, yeah. And then he said, if I agree to this, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And once you sign that, if you tell anyone, I'll know. And then you'll be in trouble because you signed a non-disclosure. The guy's retarded too, by the way, everybody.
Correct.
And he said, I will find out if you ever speak to the police. So then he threatened her and said, if you do go to the police, it's still on. I'm telling him it was yours and mine. We were in all of this together.
Scumbag.
And guess what? She recorded it.
Amazing.
So great job, Mrs. ISO. I'm sorry to even fucking associate you with this fucking guy. Now, it seems like it took until March till they served that search warrant. And listen, folks, I am not going to tell you everything that was on this, but I'm going to tell you this. There were children performing sex acts at gunpoint.
Jesus.
There were little boys being raped in orgies with grown men. There videos titled Punish Little Teens, Pre-Lolitas. Just
fucking thing sucks.
the second hard drive had 3,940 images, 27 videos of CP. Overall, there was about 6,000 between the devices. I'm not going to describe them, but like I said, heinous
That's
fucking stuff.
gross.
Now, I was hoping today to be able to give you all some good news here, but he did plead guilty on August 19th of 2024.
Yes.
He pled guilty. He faces 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. He was scheduled to be sentenced on December 12th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's the update?
Well, he has not been sentenced yet. I actually could not find any information, so I called up the Western District of New York's clerk's office today.
Okay.
And I asked for an update. And what I was told was that there was a hearing on that date, but they have postponed the sentencing to the beginning of January at some point.
Okay.
So he's going away, but something's going on, and I don't know quite what it is. But for what this guy did to the Dabbleverse, for the amount of ammo that he gave scumbags who don't want to look at their own fucking actions, want to put everything on everybody else, fucking disavow. Okay? Fuck ISO and fuck any of you people who think any of us have anything to do with this cocksucker. Fuck them. That's my creep of the year, and you better vote for Vinnie at thecreepoff.com.
And that's the way the news goes.
Yes, I agree with you. Brilliant presentation, Vinny. Real scumbag of a human being. Real piece of shit.
I need some water now. I'm got worked up.
But I mean, it's going to be tough to beat woke dad, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
If there's any justice in this world, Carl, we just got so many super chats coming in.
People are celebrating Super Chat Monday with us. The last Super Chat Monday of 2024.
Joseph Collins, thanks for the $4.99. Woke dad wins. Sorry, Vinny.
Yeah, I like that.
Rocco or B 2002 $5. Woke dad needs a pottery wheel so he can make phallic shaped vases and reenact that scene from Ghost.
Yes.
Dear
Could be
God.
onto something.
Fast Fat Guy 666. Thanks for the $2. Thanks for a creepy year. Excited for 2025 creeps. Me too, my friend. Me too.
There'll be plenty more.
Captain Cheese. Thanks for the $4.99. How long until Daniel makes it onto the Scum Parade? Well, I think that we should keep an eye on this, and I think people should start asking, where's your 501c3? Anytime he makes one of these grifting videos, fucking comment. Where's your 501c3, asshole? You're fucking just doing all of this supposedly on the cheap. Dude, I know you don't want to get the government involved in these things, but there's
he loves getting the government involved. He goes to Albany to get bills passed. He loves the government.
Okay. Well, then fuck him. Oh, man. Joseph Collins, thanks for the $1.99. I thought Carl won. Wow, Vinny.
All right, people are changing their minds.
They might be. Aussie Pilunker, $4.99. Thanks. Late to the show, but still want to pay it forward. Merry Christmas, Carla. Happy Hanukkah, Vinny. FSJ. F the pedophile up the Aussie. You got it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
it. Labyrinth Mystic, man. I got to tell you, if we had a leaderboard over here, Labyrinth, you're going towards the top of it, baby. Gifted 5 Creep Off channel memberships. And what you get with the Creep Off channel membership, folks, is you get to see our bonus episodes every Friday live at noon. We have a great time with those. In fact, if you want to become a patron of the show, you can get that as well as merch. There's merch that you can get when you join the Patreon, and just scan that little QR code up there by Carl's head, and that'll take you right over to it.
Yeah, we just did an episode where Vinny broke down some of the presidential pardons, these people who were on death row, and Biden said, hey, come on, let's not be harsh with these people.
My favorite is the guy who leads the gang inside of the jail who orders murders.
Yes.
They're like, let's keep him alive.
There's a guy actively still murdering people. And they just like, yeah, but death penalty seems harsh.
Fucking stupid idiots. All right. Carl, what
the only people who are still getting the death penalty is everyone who entered the building on January 6th. But if you're a child rapist or a serial killer,
that guy who took the podium, they executed him with the firing squad. All right, let's do some cop cam, Carl. What do you say?
Let's go.
I can't wait to see Carl's cop cam. Fight with the cops for no reason. Will you please show me Carl's cop cam? Lose all your rights, ruin your life.
Before we get into it, let me just comment on High and Tight and thank him for naming the episode 501c3PO. Am I right? Come on. I love it.
All right. So Matthew Montgomery sent me in this cop cam, and it starts off my clip number 1. They're at a convenience store. The police have to show up because there's been an argument brewing for about an hour. And finally, someone just calls the cops like, we got to get these people out of here. And so the police show up and see this.
All right, let's take a look, shall we?
Nobody touched me. Nobody touched me.
You're under arrest.
Excuse me. Don't resist. Do not resist.
Okay.
Man. Leslie Jones is really falling far, hasn't she?
She's an angry lady.
This is a very big black woman in a, what would you call that top she's wearing? It's a cow print.
Unflattering.
That's the correct term. Yes. All right. So let's find out what is going on. My clip number 2. We get some more context here.
Can't wait.
What's the deal? What's going on?
Because my friend wanted to go home, and I'm trying to talk to her and say, okay, let's get in the car. And I'm not trying to be a bad friend, so I'm waiting for her. Nobody is disorderly conduct. Nothing is touching me. I don't know why I'm under arrest. I don't understand why I'm under arrest. Can I have my phone?
Where is it?
It's in the car. I'm on right there. I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm gonna stand right here. Can I have my phone right now?
I'm gonna get your phone. You can't
It's
have your
in my-
phone
Ugh.
right now. I'm gonna go get it and put it in the front seat of the car.
She's a flatso.
Those are a set of udders.
It's not great. So she's just trying to be a good friend. Can you believe that, Vinny? Why are they arresting her? She's just trying to be a good friend.
I am sorry. High and tight still coming at correction. 501c3 pedo is the name of the
All right.
episode.
That kind of covers it all. Thank you.
Well done, High and tight.
Very, very well done. So you heard her there. Now, a lot of people have an addiction, especially in this country. I'm sure it's happening in other countries as well. They're addicted to their phones.
Sure.
They can't even imagine not having their phone on them, being away from their phone. So this woman says, look, officer, I realize I'm in handcuffs, but you got to give me my phone. And she's not going to take no for an answer on this one.
Well, look out. It might be a stampede.
Nobody's telling me why I'm under arrest. No, it's not in disorderly conduct. Nobody touched you. Nobody was screaming. Nobody was saying anything. Okay. Well, can I get my phone? I want my phone. I want my phone now. So go get my phone. No, I'm not sliding in the phone. I'm asking for my telephone so I can call. My boyfriend is on the phone. Let me talk to him.
Okay, just please go back in the vehicle.
I understand what you're saying.
I know.
I understand what you're saying. But no, I'm not. I want my phone.
See, go ahead.
Is that a loophole I didn't know about? Where the officer tells you to do something like, no, I understand what you're telling me. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to do that. Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
What I hate about this is she's acting very rationally. Like
Right.
she's not kicking and screaming.
Correct.
But she's still being a giant cunt.
Well, it's funny you say that, Vinny, because things take a turn, or should I say a flop, in my next clip.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna let go. Please, let go. Let go. I just
Get into the car.
Oh, good luck getting her up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is going to be quite a process. So she goes down.
What
They're trying
happened?
they're trying to drag her into the car, and she's fighting back. So she just like fell into the other officer, and they both collapsed to the ground.
Let me tell you how that would work. If that woman was falling towards me, I would one step to the right. Goodbye. Wham.
Dude, if that one was falling on you, I'd have to find a new co-host for the creep off. It'd be over.
You're not wrong.
All right, so my clip number 5, we're finally going to find out what is the situation here. Why are these people arguing? She said she's just trying to be a good friend, and what's going on?
Let's find out.
What's going on?
Hold on. We came down here with her. She left us at the beach. She left us at the boardwalk. So we walked up here. My friend got sick. We walked up here to get something to eat. She was here at the Wawa. So we were just standing here. We waiting for an Uber. I have him actually on the phone. We standing here. So I said, you're intoxicated. Just let me drive home because I have my son. And she said, no, this is my car. This is my license. I said, fine, but I'm not letting you drive home intoxicated with my son. He got sick.
Okay.
Wow. Very reasonable.
So she drives down with her friends. Her one friend has a 4-year-old son, and they're going down to the beach, and they go to the beach, and she decides to get wasted. So Leslie Jones is blitzed, and the other lady's going, look, I haven't anything to drink. I can drive. And she's like, no, it's my car. I'm driving. Like, well, then we're not getting in it. I don't want my 4-year-old getting in a car with someone who's as wasted as you are behind the wheel. So now we got to go back. Now that we know what's going on, we got to go back and get this woman in the police car. Should be easy enough, right?
Oh, man, I just want to know who's going to pay for repairing that parking lot.
We're gonna have to lift her and pull her into the car.
We're going to need backup.
You're gonna get into the vehicle. Do you understand that? Will you stand up like an adult? Will you stand up?
Can you get? I will get in the car after I talk to my boyfriend.
What the fuck is your boyfriend going to do for you? What the fuck do these people think is going to happen?
They get something in their head, and then they can't think of any other scenario. They're like, no. What's happening next? I'm talking to my boyfriend.
No. You know what this is, Carl?
What is it?
This is the terrible education system that we have in this country. This goes back to parents being pussies with their kids. Okay, I'll do that if you do this. It's just fucking ultimatum bullshit where everybody's got to be a goddamn compromise and negotiation.
Yep.
And you notice that all these videos, whenever the consequences are about to come down or when they do come down, the first time the cop says, nope, you're under arrest, that's when it's okay, I'll do it. Because that's the shit they did with their parents.
You're right.
That's the shit they did with teachers. Fuck them.
Well, you can only guess what's going to come next. We see this in a lot of these videos that we play. Leslie Jones here feels like she's being wronged.
Oh, does she?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sue the maker of the parking lot.
Stand up. Stand up.
I just told you I want.
Stand up.
Where's your officer? Where's your?
Are you an adult?
Yes,
Then stand up and act like one.
Listen.
You're acting like a child. You're under arrest. Stand up.
So she goes, if you break my glasses, I'm going to sue you. She thinks there's going to be a lawsuit over broken glasses. All right.
Okay, listen, I'll Venmo you 50.
Right.
Shut up. I'll Venmo you 100 if I could slap them off your face.
Ma'am, if you're wearing that top, I have a feeling you're not spending a lot of money on your glasses. I just have a feeling she doesn't have expensive clothing. All right, so now, like we were talking about this negotiating, she doesn't realize she has no leverage in this, but she's going to try to continue to negotiate.
Great.
What did I ask you? I asked for one thing, right? I asked for my telephone to talk to my boyfriend because he's on the phone. I asked you a question, and then you told me that I couldn't have the one right that I should have.
You can get that phone call later.
Listen, and I told you I wanted it to talk to my boyfriend now. Yes, if I can have my telephone. Can I have my telephone?
You cannot get your phone until we have you safely in our car. And the first
I'm not getting in the car until my phone is in my possession. And you can hold it while I talk.
You're not talking to anybody on the phone.
Why I can't talk to my why?
Talk to anybody yet
Okay, then where's your sergeant? I want to talk to your sergeant.
Sergeant's going to tell you the same thing, so don't bother.
So, no, then get him. I don't care if that's wasting your time. Talk to him.
Of course you don't.
Yeah,
of course you don't. You don't mind wasting anybody's time. You're fucking drunk and stupid.
Yes, she's enjoying wasting everybody's time, it would appear.
Oh, my God. If I got that phone call. Oh, my God.
Isn't it kind of cute that she calls it a telephone? When's the last time you heard someone refer to their phone as their telephone?
I don't know. 87?
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, telephone. That's interesting. All right, clip number 9. She's got another phone call she wants to make now.
You know how pissed Steve Jobs would be to hear someone call it a telephone? It does so much more.
And I'm also wanting to talk to a lawyer because this is not.
Hold on, get my shackles.
Okay, get off me. Get off of me. And what is your name? What is your name?
Matthews.
And what's your name?
Colin Morgan.
Okay. You said Colin?
Colin Morgan.
Colin Morgan? And your name is Matthew?
Matthews.
Okay. I want that to talk to my lawyer about because I'm going to tell them that you were
overly. Record everything,
no,
right?
it's overly doing it.
I do like the police when they're like, you do know that we have like 5 angles of everything that's happening right here.
What I like about this, if I were these cops, I would do the same thing you did to Danny earlier when you were like, yeah, what were the names of the creeps from last week? I'd go, yeah, sure. What's your lawyer's name and number?
Right. Yeah. We'll give a call.
Who's your lawyer?
Yeah. All right. So does she finally get up? Let's find out in my next clip. Now, at this point, they put shackles on her. They don't know what to do with this thing.
Stand up. No, all right.
Come on. Stand up. Stand up.
Ow, 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 ow. You're twisting my arm. Get off. Get off. Get off. You're hurting me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Get your hands off. Get off. I'm asking you
Sit in the car. Get in the vehicle.
Excuse me. I'm asking.
Slide
If I let you, I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I'm asking you to get your hands off of me.
Slide in the car. Slide in the car.
Listen to me.
Slide in the car.
Listen to me. Get off.
There you go. Lift up over the seatbelt. And pull.
If you twist my arm, if my arm breaks, I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue so bad.
So bad.
Get off! I just asked you to get off!
No one cares. Have you not realized? Listen to me doesn't work.
Yeah.
You demanding things isn't working.
She
The
still
only
thinks
thing
she's
that's going to
making the
work
rules.
is they've told you to get in the car and now they're putting you in it, stupid.
Right.
Wake the fuck up.
Yeah, she's not understanding this at all.
God, there's so many things I hate about this.
I'm going to sue you so bad. Is that like saying I have a high, what's the term that they used to use about attorneys in the Dabbleverse? A powerful attorney? I have a very powerful attorney.
He's a level 4
Whoa.
attorney.
He uses a different type of law than the rest of the attorneys. Wow. Okay.
Maritime.
Sue you so hard you won't even know.
What a dude. This woman doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I can't even tell she's that drunk because she was very coherent,
Right,
like in her demands and everything that she said. She's not like slurring.
No.
She might reek of booze. I don't know, but
she has a problem. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, it's the cops right now.
So she finally sits in the car. My clip 11. This wasn't so hard, was it?
What I'm saying is that
There you go.
there's 6 cops
sit in the car.
sitting here in my face.
Let's go. Sit in the car then. No one's touching you. You've gotten what you asked for.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now sit in the car.
I can't even get up.
You fucking.
Can you put your feet on?
So demure. You
Very
fuck.
mindful.
Very mindful, very demure. Get in there and just
After all of that, Vinny, she finally just goes, all right, yeah, I guess I'll just sit in the back of this car. Yeah. We could have saved a lot of time. You wouldn't have been featured on the creep off. We had just done that in the first place. Now she's in the car.
I like how she looks like she gave the cop such a condescending look, like someone back in the day who would walk in, somebody offers them a seat, they look down and they dust off the chair and then look at them and then sit down.
Right.
She's just like looking at them like, huh, you're welcome.
Yeah, she's not figuring this out yet, but she's going to hear something as the drive back to the precinct. Now, she's still very confused, but listen closely because the officer says something to her that she's a little bit surprised about.
Excusing? About why I'm bringing her back to the cop car.
You're under arrest.
Oh, for what?
Disorderly conduct and
Disorderly conduct.
it looks like DUI too.
DUI?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do I have a DUI? I wasn't back from the car. Excuse me. And then, do I have a right to ask questions? Do I have a right to ask questions? Am I getting ignored?
Yes.
Well done. He goes, probably DUI too. She goes, wait, DUI? What's going on? What do you mean? Unfortunately, because none of the police officers saw her in her vehicle, they couldn't charge her with DUI. So it was just disorderly conduct after all of that. I feel like they could have gone down a lot differently if she just behaved.
You think?
Yeah. My buddy Anthony Cumia once told me that just behave is probably the best way to go about life.
That's the way I bowl. All right, Carl, your cop cam was wonderful today.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you to
job,
Matthew
buddy.
Montgomery for sending that in. Keep those cop cams coming, people.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Matthew. And now I guess it's time for a scum parade, or not a scum parade. It's time for voicemails.
Oh, right.
The Creep Off voicemail segment is brought to you by the city of Syracuse. A local woman was burned with a flaming drink and had to go to the hospital. Good news, though, she somehow never looked better. See you in Syracuse.
Bravo.
Where can you get a
Correct.
flaming Mo in Syracuse? I was not familiar with that.
Probably a million places like Moe's Tavern.
Right.
Great creep off. Let's see. Vinny says, don't rape your own children
Uh-huh.
and don't kill your family. Hold on, I'm taking notes here.
Mm-hmm.
Carl says it's cold in Buffalo. This is some hard-hitting journalism, fellas. So this Jewish Buddhist says, Merry Christmas, you assholes. Right, chill.
Happy Hanukkah.
I just want to point out, I'm making a prediction. The game that I went to in Orchard Park, New York, not yesterday, but the weekend before, will be the coldest day in the entire winter this year. It will not get colder than that. It just happened to fall on the fucking one day I'm going to see an outdoor Bills game.
Interesting. Who cares? Carl,
it was more than just cold. It's my point.
We have a long-time listener and a first-time caller.
This is Rajko. I'm fan of Creepoff. I watch all the time. This first time I'm calling. Yesterday I have dream about Carl. Carl, I'm here to tell you, do not wear tank top. Not very flattering. You wore tank top in my dream. Not very flattering. That's it. Just don't wear tank top. T-shirt okay. Other shirt okay. Not tank top. In dream, you look very strange. Thank you.
This person was really scarred by this dream. It sounds like a nightmare.
It does sound like a nightmare. But aren't you flattered you were in his dream?
Well, I appreciate the advice. I will take that to heart. Thank you.
We got another one here.
Karl Vinnie, I think I got the most fucked up suggestion of all. Creepiest school shooter. Fucking do it. Anyway, Captain Blackbird out.
Thank you, Captain Blackbird. Not a terrible idea.
That more recent one, where was that? Wisconsin?
Yeah. It was a girl.
Yeah.
Can you believe the women are horning in on our action?
She's a fucking weirdo, man.
Dude. What did we decide on January 6th? We decided we were going to do the creepiest person to ever be pardoned.
Yes, we did decide that.
That's next week, folks.
Yeah, so not necessarily the Joe Biden stuff, but
yeah.
maybe previous administrations.
Yeah, and Carl, I sent you this voicemail in the middle of the week because it absolutely blew my mind. And I really think we need to call this guy if this is true.
Hey, Vinny and Carl. So y'all ran the story on the Dosher lady last week or for Creepmas. And she is my distant cousin, not too.
Now, the story he's referring to is the one we did in the Scum Parade last week about the woman whose divorce was finalized, and she waited outside the courtroom for her now ex-husband to walk down the stairs, and she just shot him like 10 times in front of the...
Put 10 bullets in him right in the
front of the lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Distant, but cousin.
Yeah, sorry.
Not too distant, but she is my distant cousin, not too distant, but cousin. And I took her to the shooting range to learn how to shoot.
Oh, wow.
She had never owned a gun before, and she said that since she was getting divorced, she thought she needed to get one to for self-protection at home. And it turns out she wanted it to kill her husband. Oh, this is Wes, by the way. Cock meat sandwiches, and love you guys. Bye.
Is that real?
I don't know. He ended with cock meat sandwiches, so I don't know if it's real. But Wes, if this is real, I want to talk to you, dude.
Yeah, and I want to talk to your cousin's cousin as well.
Yeah,
get her to call in.
I just want to know if Wes was like, "Hey, have you thought about shooting him?" This guy might be our Richard Christie.
I like it.
All right, Carl, you got any voicemails over there?
I don't.
Well, I don't either. So I guess it's time for an actual Scum Parade, kids.
Scum Parade, take me on a raid of these fuck charades that these creeps have made. Scum Parade, Vinny and Carl gonna tell you about some fuck shit. Scum Parade, like stories of a kid fucked by his mom or dad, soaking up the blood of a cat. Scum Parade.
Major crimes. Shit.
Man, we just went through the holidays, Carl, and scumbags didn't take a break. The creeps kept creeping all holiday season.
They sure did, Vinny.
Here's a fun one for everybody.
Where does this one take place?
I believe this story happened in Alabama.
Well, the guy's from Alabama, but it happened in Florida.
That's
where you
right.
go. That's where you go to commit crimes. You go to Florida.
That's a good point.
Everyone knows that.
They know two things. If you're going to commit crimes, go to Florida. And while you're there, don't mess with the Duke. A FedEx contract worker from Alabama has been arrested in Florida after multiple packages went missing in the middle of the holiday season.
What?
I know. This really did piss me off.
Hey, by the way, Vinny,
Yes.
The gift that I got for you was on that truck, just so you know. I got you a really nice gift, too. It was like this wrestling action figure you can't find anywhere. I know. It sucks.
The one I can't find anywhere.
The one you can't find anywhere. I was on that truck. So.
Well, Carl, I guess it is the thought that counts. You are my best friend.
That's right, buddy. Don't you forget it.
All right. The investigation into the undeliverable packages began when the post office in Bonifay, Florida, reported multiple incidents of FedEx packages being dumped in the woods and besides the road. Now, that's how you could tell this motherfucker's from Alabama. Most of the time, you would just steal the packages if you were going to throw them out. But this guy at least was honest about it. He's just lazy. The Holmes County Sheriff's Office said in a press release on Saturday, December 21st, that it contacted FedEx to assist in identifying the driver assigned to delivering the missing packages. That led them to this gentleman, Latavian Lewis.
Yeah, so I'm changing my guy for worst person of 2024. Latavian Lewis is now my guy. This is the most heinous crime we've ever covered on this show before.
People's shit just being thrown.
That's fucked up, man.
Dude, I will murder you if my package is late. I will fucking hunt you down.
Not cool.
You ever been a dick to a delivery guy because something was late and had nothing to do with them?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it more in 2025. It's my resolution.
That's right. That's right. You're fucked, FedEx. He was taken into custody on charges of an organized scheme to defraud, grand theft, and illegal dumping. Now, his story is...
He didn't seem that organized to me, but okay.
His story was he admitted that due to the later hour, he discarded the undeliverable packages at several locations rather than return them to the FedEx warehouse. So he just wanted to go home early.
Yeah. He already worked a long day. I know. I have friends who drive for FedEx. This time of year, it's brutal.
I know people who do it, but it's their job this time of year. It sucks. They hire a ton of extra people to make it manageable. You think FedEx guy's crying about it? Talk to the Amazon people.
I want to be just like Alabama man.
Not this Alabama man.
So far, they found about 44 packages that he threw around. So
out of control.
Fuck this guy, Bonifay, Florida. Carl, Christmas Eve. Let's talk about this fucking lunatic. I kind of like this guy. He looks like Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Playing a character. Now, we're going to Maryland for this one. Christmas Eve, Thomas Campbell Bowling Von Gotts. He's 56 years old. He was taken into custody after incidents at Holy Angels Catholic Church in St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Leonardtown. 2 churches involved. So at the first church, he allegedly assaulted parishioners with produce. He goes into the Holy Angels Church around 5 p.m. for their service. He approaches the altar and dropped an onion into the aisle.
Okay.
And then starts disrupting the service going, whose onion is this? Like, it's a silly prank.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah,
if I was there for that shit, I'd be laughing my ass off.
I like this so far. Then what happens?
He was escorted outside by someone in the attendants, and he allegedly assaulted them by throwing tangerines that he had conveniently in his jacket
This is
pocket.
hilarious. If I knew there's going to be food fights at church, I'd probably go.
Dude, I guarantee you, if they had not thrown them out there, those tangerines were meant for the priest.
Right.
Just
Church
like throwing
food
produce at the
fights.
asshole.
Yes, this is awesome. I like this guy so far.
So they throw him out, tangerines and all. He's out of there. So he decided, I'm not done. So he goes to a midnight mass at St. Francis Xavier, and he interrupted that service again by walking up to the holy water and pouring in a bottle of whiskey.
So he made holy water into something that's actually valuable.
He spiked the holy water.
And we're mad at this guy? Who's mad at this guy? This is great so far.
So
this guy's making church interesting.
He then starts threatening anybody who tries to stop him with the whiskey bottle.
No, that's
like
not
he's
great.
going to break it. Like,
Okay, that's not great.
So they allegedly escort him out of the building. Once he's outside, he allegedly tried to assault them again with the whiskey bottle. Parishioners detained him until deputies arrived, at which point they took him directly to St. Mary's Hospital to be evaluated. The sheriff's office did not disclose what came of the evaluation, but he was arrested again on December 26th and charged with several offenses: second-degree assault, disorderly conduct, defacing religious property, religious crime against a group, obstructing the religious exercise, threat of mass violence, and disturbing the peace.
And awarded hilarious prankster.
And this is how I could tell he's fucking nuts. They still have him in detention at the rehab center. So
yeah, he might be a little nuts.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, though. I thought we would tell that story. Carl, I have another fun one.
Mental illness can literally drive you crazy.
Let's meet Mallory Patrice Strait. She's 33 years old from San Antonio, Texas. And last week she went into a Whataburger. around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and she went and locked herself in the bathroom for approximately 2 hours.
That is the good time to do that. So there's no lunch rush before the dinner rush gets in there. Not a lot of people are going to be using the bathroom. Get in there, do your business.
Well, it was quite alarming to the staff because she was making some serious noise in that bathroom.
All right, she looks like she'd be a screamer.
Now, the restaurant manager checked in on her several times, and provided her with water, but told Straight she had to leave and called the police out of concern for the woman's safety. So she's in there for 2 hours, locked in a stall, not making the noises that are so loud they could hear her at the counter of a fast food restaurant. They're bringing her water, but they're like, honey, you got to go. So deputies from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office arrived at the Whataburger and began questioning Straight, who was not cooperative. So she's arguing with the cops. She's out of the bathroom. And at what point, the cops are like, we got to see what was going on in that stall. Now, if it's me, I ain't going in there. I'm sending in a lady cop. But when the cop goes in there, they discovered a fetus floating in the toilet that had been tried to be flushed multiple times.
Okay. See, you're supposed to use the family bathroom for that. That's the problem right there. You don't just go into the ladies' room.
That is correct. Now,
so she was trying to baptize this baby immediately, huh? She knew it wasn't going to be living long and wanted to make sure that this baby went up to heaven.
The child was rushed to an area hospital. The newborn was pronounced dead. Now, we do not know if this baby was born alive and she tried to flush it or if it was born dead and she tried to flush it. Either way, the only thing that her baby was good for was a flushing at a Whataburger.
Well, the cause of
I wouldn't
death,
even take a shit at a Whataburger.
The cause of death actually is really bad parenting, turns out.
That checks out. Stories checks out. Medical officials said Straight was about 28 to 30 weeks pregnant in her third trimester. They're working to determine the exact cause of death, but she was arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse.
Did you get a burger first?
Well, that's what caused the miscarriage.
I was wondering about that.
Burgers cause miscarriages. Quote me on it. My name is Karl Hamburger. You want Karl Hamburger burgers.
That's the new Carl's Jr. commercial.
I'm just kidding. Everyone knows that's not true. They make you pregnant. Now, Karl, our last creep today. This guy, oof. His name is Craig Street. No, wait, what the fuck is it? Ian Bostillo. I'm sorry, guys. He's 20 years old, and he was charged with rape on December 19th after allegedly admitting to police that he sent photos of himself performing sexual acts on the victim to the victim's mother's phone.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
Nobody likes to show off, dude. Come on.
December 19th around 8:30 p.m., police were called to a home. When police arrived at the scene, a man living there told officers that he and his ex-wife were allegedly receiving photos of their daughter in a sexually explicit act with Ian Bostillo, 20 years old. Court documents show that Bostillo reportedly admitted to sending the pictures of himself performing sex acts on the victim to the mother's phone before allegedly showing
high-fiving the officer.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, you want to see?
Yeah,
He shows
dude,
it to the cops.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
Well, here's the problem. When the officer spoke to the victim, the girl who was in the picture, she said she had no idea that the photos were being taken until the cops told her.
Oh, okay. So, you know what they don't mention in this? They do call it the R word. They don't mention the girl's age.
I believe she's underage. That's why.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is this just his girlfriend and he's just like being a dick by sending these photos to the
Because
mom?
the police would never show up and question him about sending that. I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
Because you're sending porn to somebody.
Right.
It could be harassment.
Well, it's definitely against the law to send sexual photos without that person's permission, as I've learned from one Aaron Imholt, who has a felony looming over him.
Wow,
Yes.
I can't believe you didn't bring him for Creep of the Year.
He was on the list. There were a lot of different people.
All right. Well, he's being charged with first-degree rape, distribution of sexually explicit images without consent, and third-degree possession of an unspecified drug. He's now in the Kenton County Detention Center.
Yeah, he had like Xanax or something on him.
What a creep off today, dude.
That was a fun one today.
We covered a lot.
We covered a lot, and I appreciate the viewers of the show because they really celebrated hard today on our Super Chat Monday.
They sure did. We got a couple more we got to
We
hit.
do have a couple more. I want to thank Joseph Collins.
Another $9.99. Thank you, brother. You're up there on the leaderboard, Joseph Collins.
You sure are. And he says, I've watched insane videos because of Karl and Vinnie. You're welcome. I think that he's saying that's a good thing.
Don't put that on me.
I think he's saying that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it is. Rocco Orb 2002, thanks for the $5. You see, Texas, this is what happens when we don't have abortions. Now we have Felicia popping our fetuses at Whataburger.
That's true. It's true, Texas.
You guys don't think these things through.
Yeah, Tennessee, are you paying attention over there? Don't
They're
make the
not
same
paying
mistake.
attention in Tennessee, I promise you that. Carl, people need to go to thecreepoff.com and vote this week. You can get the number to call in and leave us a voicemail. You can find the links to our Patreon, our Supercast. We just appreciate you voting, so make sure you do that. And anything you want to say to everybody before we say goodbye for the year?
Yes, it's been a fantastic 2024. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening this year. If you are listening, we're live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're watching, you can also listen to the show wherever you subscribe to podcasts. Just subscribe to it there. You can listen on the go. And listen, Hackamania. Hackamania.com, promo code CREEP, 10% off your tickets. We are definitely looking forward to going back to Vegas in May to hang out with all you creepos.
This will be the third live creep off, and both times, dare I say, we brought it pretty hard.
This show does very well live.
Yeah, we are scene stealers when
It's
it
a fun
comes to
one.
this shit. We're hard to follow.
Correct.
So we hope that you'll see it. We'll see you there at Hackamania. And truthfully, we hope that you had a great 2024, and I hope you have a better 2025. So until next time, it's nice to be important.
It's more important to be nice.
Be
more funny.
What would it be without me fucking up the accent? Bye, guys.
Podcast Sneaks. Podcast Sneaks.
This dude is fucking boring.
It's the Creep Off.
Got the big brain on red. That's a smart motherfucker. That's right.
It stinks.